Hey everybody, Kyle Goth here from GoatFilmReviews.com and the Goat Film Reviews YouTube channel. I've got my first reaction to the new film Spy X Family Code White. This was part of AMC's Screen Unseen series. It's a series that they do not every week, but every couple weeks, where they show a film, people can go see it, the general audience can go check it out before it's been officially released, but they don't know what they're seeing. And so that's kind of the case with Spy X Family Code White. It's not a movie that I inherently would have run to see immediately, because I like to be fully abreast of everything that's going on in a movie when I go see it. And this one is part of a, not I want to say long-running series. I think it has 2 seasons thus far, anime series based on a manga, which I believe was longer. So, like, there's a lot more context to this film than I had going in. Truth be told, I think I've heard the title before, but I've never actually known the story of Spy X Family or anything like that. So I went into this one pretty blind. Again, normally if I'd known that, I wouldn't have probably gone to see the film until I'd done my necessary research, but that's the thing, is you don't know what you're seeing until you see it. There was a lot of people that got up and walked out when they realized what movie they were going to see, because this is a very niche kind of a thing for general movie-going audiences. So just go into that with that. If you're expecting me to be able to spout off all these facts about the show, I don't have that. So just know that going in. I apologize if that's what you're here for, but it's just not what I have. So, the general conceit here is that it is a family that is not it's like the family's kind of a facade to the parents, at least. You have Lloyd, who is a spy that is not telling his wife he's a spy. You have his wife, Yor, who is an assassin, but she doesn't tell her husband she's an assassin. You have the daughter, Anya, who is able to read minds, so she knows kind of what's going on. And you have the dog, Bond, I believe his name is. He says Borf a lot, so I kept thinking his name was Borf, but his name is Bond. And he is a dog that can see into the future and relay that message to the telepathic Anya. So I like the family dynamic that's at play there. I think it's really funny to see these 4 people who kind of are all lying to each other to an extent, in the necessity of keeping their family together, even though they're all on kind of, I don't want to say opposing forces, but definitely like distant forces. So they're stretching out. So I think that's kind of an interesting idea. I liked the characterization of the characters. I didn't love the story that they were in. I mean, the story, generally speaking, is that Anya has to make something in her cooking class, so they go out to find all these ingredients to win this contest, because they know what the principal, who's the head judge, is going to like. While they're out doing that, they get embroiled in a spy thriller, basically. I just didn't love where the story went from the we're getting ingredients spy thing into just kind of a more generic spy tale. It just didn't strike me. Any of the actual villainous machinations didn't really pull at me. And maybe it's something where if I was more aware of what was going on in the other 2 seasons, then maybe that's the case. But that's another thing with this film, is I looked it up when I kind of heard rumblings that this was going to be our Screen Unseen in the 5 minutes before the movie started. And so I looked up the film, I looked up the story, and it kind of says non-canon. So it feels in a way like it's easily accessible. But at the same time, it's not 100%. There's a lot of distance kept, things that I feel like we're supposed to know as viewers going in. So I'm not really sure what the movie is made for. Is it made for the hardcore fans? Because they might not like the idea that it's a non-canon story. It's not really integral to anything going on with the anime itself. But then general movie-going audiences, it kind of keeps its distance a little bit too. It gives you a general idea of what's going on, but then there's a lot of other things happening with some of the side characters who pop up that I feel like, as a general movie-going audience, I wasn't really connecting with those characters. So maybe it's a case I watched a couple episodes of the anime and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is fantastic, and I want to rewatch the film. For me, I just thought the movie was okay overall, but there's some really great things in there. Like I said, the characterization, the family dynamics, the chemistry between the characters, especially in that 4-person family unit, I think that's fantastic. And I like the idea of a chosen family at the center of this film, and that none of these people are really blood connected at all, but they've chosen to be together, and they're holding tight to keeping each other safe. And I think that's a really good idea. I think it's a strong narrative choice for it. The thing is, the film itself makes me want to check out the anime series. So that's a win in a lot of ways. But overall, the movie itself, I thought was just okay. I felt like for the 2-hour runtime, there's probably about 80 minutes worth of actual, real good meat to the story here. And the pacing just kind of didn't happen for me. And like I said, as it kind of evolved into the spy part of the Spy Family. I don't know that story really did much for me. It just didn't really pull at me in the way that I kind of liked how they were getting into these like minute little, using their spy powers to try and get the ingredients they need to bake this miri thing that they're going to bake for the class. I thought that was really engaging stuff. And as it got further along, I kind of lost it. But overall, I think, if you're a fan of the anime, I don't think there's anything in here that you're not going to like. You may be kind of frustrated with the non-canon of it all. But then again, there's a number of anime series that have non-canon films or films that don't exactly fit into their worldview, and I guess a lot of fans still watch that. I mean, trying to make sense of the Dragon Ball films is just a ludicrous attempt on its own. So I don't know if that'll bother you as much, but for me, I just wish it was maybe a little bit more, if it's going to be like this accessible way in, I don't know that it's accessible enough. But yeah, it's one of those cases where I can understand why people got up and walked out. There was an anime film that came out last year that I went to see not realizing that it was a sequel to a series. And it was a follow-up of a long-running series, and I had no idea what was going on. So I was like, I'm going to get up and go because I'm just not beneficial here. I can see why that would be the case. But the animation is cool, and I think, if nothing else, this movie has one of the weirdest poop jokes I think I've ever seen. Definitely one of the weirdest poop jokes of 2024. So it's got that going for it, which is nice. But overall, I thought the movie was an okay experience. I didn't hate myself for being there, and I didn't absolutely love it, but it was okay. And worth checking out for fans of the series, I would say. Let me know your thoughts on Spy X Family Code White down in the comment section below. While you're down there, please like and subscribe. There are 2 free things you can do that help support the channel immensely, and you never miss new episodes of the show as they drop. You can also find GoatFilmReviews.com for many written reviews. You can find Goat Film Reviews on Facebook. You can follow me personally at Almighty Goatman on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, and Threads. And you can find my show, Kyle and Nick on Film, that I co-host with Nick Plotchuk from the St. Paul Filmcast. All those links are down in the description. While you're down there, you can also check out the link for the Minnesota Film Critics Alliance, of which I am a member. You can find my reviews and everybody else's down in that link as well. So thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you later.